The United States Supreme Court has stated that same-sex marriages are protected by the U.S. Constitution. Does that resolve all the issues that sometimes arise in a same-sex marriage? Well, that takes us to this week's case. It involves two women. They were in a same-sex relationship in Georgia. And one of the women, over the years, gave birth to 3 children. The other woman, her partner, had adopted the 3 children. They're living in Georgia. Well, things didn't go well in their relationship. They broke up. The woman who had given birth to the children had custody of the children and moved to Alabama. The woman that had adopted the children asked to come visit the children and have visitation rights. The woman who actually had been the birth mother said, "No, you can't do that. I wasn't pleased with where our relationship went, and I don't want you to visit my children." The woman who had adopted the children then went to an Alabama court and asked for visitation rights. Well, that case wound its way through the Alabama court system and wound up at the Alabama Supreme Court. And here's what the arguments were basically. On behalf of the woman who was the birth parent, she said, "You know, when we were in Georgia, Georgia didn't recognize a same-sex marriage. Now they do, as does every state in the union. But at that point in time, you had attempted to adopt the children under the laws of Georgia. Georgia required that there be a termination of parental rights before an adoption can go forward. Those parental rights were never terminated. Therefore, the adoption was not proper, was not lawful." Woman on the other side said, "Hang on a second. I went through all the proceedings necessary to have an adoption take place. I am now the legal parent of these children, one of the 2 legal parents, and I have a right to visitation, and therefore, Alabama courts, you need to give me a right to visitation." Well, when the Supreme Court in Alabama decided this, they came away and they said, "Birth mother, you are right. You are right. You, of course, are the mother of the children. You gave birth to the children, but your partner at the time you were living in Georgia did not have you terminate the parental rights that you possessed, and because there had been no termination of the parental rights, we find that the adoption did not properly take place. Because the adoption did not properly take place, we in Alabama will not grant visitation to that woman who now, for all intents and purposes, is a stranger to you and your children." Okay, well, you now understand what took place in this case, and you now see that many of the issues that existed in same-sex marriages before the U.S. Supreme Court decision still exist. Those are issues dealing with such things as child custody, dealing with such things as wills and trusts, dealing with, in the event of no will and trust, who inherits property. These are all issues that need to be sorted out for people who developed relationships before the U.S. Supreme Court recognized same-sex marriages. Okay, we bring you this case, as we bring cases every week, so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.